After the coal mining strike began, it seems like that strike could in fact be coming to an end. Earlier, the Chamber of Mines said it had reached an in-principle agreement seemingly with the National Union of Mineworkers. Now, our reporter Mbongeni Muthwa has been following those talks, those negotiations that reopened. Of course, they collapsed earlier, but today employers speaking to the unions. He joins us now from Johannesburg. Mbongeni, is this the end of the road, which means it has been a pretty short one?
Absolutely. We are now in the final stretch of these wage negotiations, without a doubt. It's been a very dramatic day here. We started the day, there was not a lot of optimism after how things went yesterday. But since this morning, things have been moving at a very fast pace. We've seen the companies coming through and making very significant moves on the wage front. By the end of the day yesterday, we were still having the companies offering offers ranging between 450 and 600, which was still a gap between what the union is demanding and what they're offering. The union, of course, is demanding 1,000 rands. As we speak now, all the companies have moved to 750 rands for the highest paid, 800 rands for the lowest paid, by some of the companies. The bigger companies, Anglo Coal, Exaro and so on, have even moved higher than that, closer to the 1,000 rands. But one issue remains, and that's the issue of harmonization, the issue of bridging the gap in terms of housing allowances that is paid to mine workers. In terms of the lowest paid and the highest paid, the NUM is saying there is still an apartheid legacy there that needs to be bridged. The other companies have committed to sorting that out over the next 4 years or so. One company remains, that is Glencore, and that is what we are grappling with now. Quickly, I'm going to turn to the chief negotiator of the NUM, Mr. Peter Bailey, to find out exactly where do we stand now. Mr. Bailey, you and your team have been sitting outside here with us, waiting for the employers who have been caucusing inside for what is now going almost for 3 hours. Clearly, this issue of harmonization or the housing allowance, as far as Glencore is concerned, is proving to be a very big hurdle for the employers to overcome.
Indeed, it was. And the reason why I'm saying is the fact that after our last interaction with each other, we went back into a caucus which the employers called us back for, and between myself and my chairperson, we then engaged the chief negotiator and the chairperson of the chamber together with Glencore. Glencore has now committed itself to the harmonization process. It's just the duration that we needed to sort out. But they are now fully behind and they are in line with the others. What I cannot comment on is the figures that you have quoted because those figures have not come through to us. I don't know where you got your information from, and if they do, we cannot communicate them to the public because our members are the ones who are going to determine whether the offer on the table is significant or not.
What are you waiting for, as you've been waiting outside here for the past 2.5 hours?
Well, what we're waiting for now is that the chamber is now consolidating all the demands which were agreed upon. That was now prior to, in the beginning of the wage negotiations, during the conciliation process, what we agreed to, and then this final stage, which we have agreed to. All of that will now be clubbed together in one document, which will then be issued to the leadership here, who will take it back to its members, to their members, and the members will then say whether they are eager to accept or to reject, or to continue rejecting the offer.
Lastly, if the members accept, when do the members go back to work?
Well, it would be difficult to say, because you must remember earlier I said our concern was if we wanted to conclude the strike today, we needed to have left here around about midday. But because of the fact that we are still here in the evening, it implies that our members have now gone home. Some of them have gone on weekend, so it will be difficult to communicate with them. So we'll come back on Monday, and then we'll start talking about when members should be back at work. If we agree to a process, it must be a process where members are well informed, and members take that decision, so that at the end of the day, when somebody misses the information, should not get charged or harassed by the employers because he was absent from work.
Well, Francis, you heard from the horse's mouth. I can tell you that the figures I've mentioned have come from some of Mr. Bailey's team and other sources who are part of the negotiations. I can also tell you that from some of Mr. Bailey's team, we understand that if the members accept the agreement, they will start going back to work from Sunday evening. It's back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mbongeni Muthwa. Following